Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make an inexpensive minnow trap, everything included, for just under $10. Okay, before we go ahead and make our trap, let's talk about all the items that we're going to need to do that. The first thing here is the Sharpie. We've got a good strong pair of scissors, a small screwdriver, my Leatherman multi-tool, a nice strong torch lighter, the paracord, the bottle itself, and then some dog food here for our bait. Okay, so what we're gonna do is turn this 2-liter soda bottle into our minnow trap in just a few steps. The first step I already did at home, took all the soda out of it, and I took the label off here. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take my multi-tool knife and we are gonna cut a small hole up in the top here, just like that, just as wide as the knife goes. That is gonna be the opening part so that we can get our scissors in here to cut this off. Now we're gonna take our Sharpie and we're gonna follow the line here. Now it's too small for you guys to see on camera, but I'm gonna trace over this line that goes all the way around the bottle, and then we're gonna cut it with the scissors. I'll trace it out and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay. So right here, as you guys can see, all the way around this bottle, we've traced this line. And now we're gonna take our scissors and cut that all the way around to cut the top of the bottle off. Okay, here comes our scissors right in that spot that we already cut. And we're gonna follow this all the way around. And just like that, we now have 2 pieces of water bottle, the main piece of the trap here, and this is actually going to be the funnel where the fish swim into. Now we can get rid of this bottle cap because we don't need it. Put it in my pocket so we don't litter. So now we're going to take the funnel piece of the water bottle and we're going to turn it all the way around and put it into our bottle. So now you have this little guy right here. Sorry about the glare. But now you have the funnel piece, which is going inside. This is where the fish are going to swim into, through here into the main part of this trap. And they're not going to be able to swim back out because they're going to get a little bit confused and they're going to swim into these 2 areas, which are going to have stops in them. They're not going to actually swim back through the funnel this way. The next step involves our Sharpie right here. So what we need to do is mark some spots for us to poke holes in this trap. That way it will fill up with water. The basis of this trap is you put bait in it, you set it in the water, it sinks down with a rope tied to shore or tied to an anchor point. It fishes for you, you leave it set either overnight or for a couple hours. You go and you retrieve it and you should have fish inside the trap. So I like to take a Sharpie and mark all of my spots of where I'm going to be poking my holes. Okay guys, now let's get the torch out and the screwdriver. So I went to a Dollar General and I got this really nice torch style lighter. You could use a propane torch, you could even use your stove top to do this. All you basically need to do is heat up a piece of metal, could be a nail, it could be a screwdriver like this, heat up the tip of it so that it's hot enough to pierce this plastic and create a hole. So I have a torch here, a little lighter. You can use a regular lighter, it just takes longer to heat it. This guy puts out a higher heat and it's really efficient. So all I'm gonna do is take this torch and heat up the tip of this screwdriver. Typically it takes about 30 seconds to get it hot initially, and then in between burns I only hold it on here between 4 and 5 seconds. Okay, now right on one of our marks, and boom. We're gonna do that on every Sharpie mark that we've made. Okay, that's the last hole for the main part. Now we just have a couple that we're gonna put in the bottom. we've created 5 holes on the bottom and several different holes through the body of the trap. Only a few more steps and our trap is going to be complete. The next step involves our paracord here. So this is what we're going to use to set our line. We can toss it out as far as we want off of the bank, and we can drop it down as deep as we need to, as long as we have enough rope. But I do need an anchor point to the bottle here in order for me to be able to attach this. So we're going to burn a couple more holes, a little bit wider this time, into our bottle itself and tie our paracord to that. Perfect. Okay, so let's tie our paracord to our holes here. Just 2 holes, nice and easy in our trap. We're gonna put it through one, weave it out the other, just like so. Now we're just gonna tie it. 2 nice overhand knots. It's not really gonna go anywhere after that. And if you wanna put a stop knot on here, you can, but this right here will do the job. All right, paracord secured to the bottle, and now we're gonna take this rock that I found and we're gonna put it inside the trap. The reason we're doing this is because you want this trap to sink, and if we didn't put something in here to make it sink, it would float and it wouldn't work right. So now we're gonna put the top on our bottle here, and now we're going to secure this top with a zip tie. That is the one thing that I forgot to mention, is you do need 1 zip tie for this project. And we're gonna zip tie just this one side so that this can kind of open and close like a hinge system. If we didn't have the zip tie, this would just fall off and all of the fish would go free. So 1 zip tie, like a little hinge, and we're gonna be done and ready to set this. Hold on to both of them, make sure it's a little bit bigger so that the paracord fits through, and boom! Show you guys. See that right there? It's through both the funnel and the bottle. Now we take our zip tie, go through that hole, clamp it down, and now you don't want this to be too tight or too loose, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna play with this just a little bit. So what we want to happen here is we want to be able to access the fish that we catch. So we want to be able to open this up like so, get the fish that are out of it, and then close it to reset it. So actually, that looked pretty good to me. So you guys can see nothing too big or too small. Cut off the zip tie part. And there you have it, guys. Super simple and easy. Just like that, you've got a 2-liter soda bottle turned into a minnow trap. Now let's go set this and see if we can catch us some bait. Well guys, here we are at the local spot trying to beat the rain. We're gonna set our trap right here because we know there's a ton of little fish that live in this area. Sorry for the background noise, there's a highway in front of me, but let's bait it up and let's set it. So the bait of choice for today is gonna be dog food. I've heard great things about dog food in minnow traps, so got a bag here. We're gonna cut it open and drop some in the top of our trap. We're just gonna sprinkle some in the trap here. Doesn't need to be a lot. There we go, just about that much. And this dog food has a really strong odor to it, so it should do a really good job, theoretically, in catching us some bait. Okay, let's get the top set nice and snug in our trap. And now we toss it in and set it. I'm thinking right over here in this corner, there's usually a lot of little fish that like to hide in this bank. So basically all we're gonna do is toss this into the water, let it sink down, and then anchor off this point so that we don't lose it.